Hi, and welcome back. And before we get to the always eagerly awaited segment...
Oh, hey, did you miss me while I was gone, by the way?
You've reappeared. Did you twitch your nose like Samantha?
Yeah, absolutely.
She's back. Hi, Heather. How are you?
Hi, good.
So nice to see you.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
Nice save.
Now, before we get back to Around the Oval, which is always an eagerly awaited occurrence, just like you coming back on the set, let's go to the 10th. It was the feature on Sunday at Harris Chester, and always tough as nails, foiled again with Yannick Gingras, was, of course, the overwhelming 3-5 chalk. Wild Ridge Sam, which reminds me of Wild Root Cream Oil, Charlie, was 7-2 with George Napolitano Jr. You're too old for that, too young for that. Blatantly Good and Richie Silverman went off at 5-1. And last week, if you recall, Blatantly Good off at 20-1 came from the men's room to Edge foiled again.
I remember.
Could he foil him again? Let's see.
And they're off. Noble Falcon, Wild Ridge Sam, and foiled again, all left, and there's Live Strong, part of this pace too. 4 of them across the track as they enter the first turn. Noble Falcon and Wild Ridge Sam, their heads apart, 3/4 of a length back of those to the inside is Live Strong, and foiled again. Will tuck into the 4th spot. He's just 3 lengths off the lead. 4 Trumps is a close-up 5th by 3.5, and Blatantly Good will race for off the pace today. He's 7.5 off Noble Falcon and Wild Ridge Sam through a 26-2 first quarter. A pressured pace, and now Wild Ridge Sam is sent to the front. Noble Falcon concedes the lead and will sit the pocket. Live Strong continues just off these. Foiled again. Comes to the outside from the 4th spot. He's first over and 4 lengths off the lead. He's gaining steadily with 4 Trumps slipstreaming that. Blatantly Good is 3rd over from the back of the pack. Only 5 off leader Wild Ridge Sam, who's halfway home in a sensible 55 seconds flat. They straighten away up the backstretch. Wild Ridge Sam leads by 3/4 of a length. Foiled again's coming after him on the outside. Noble Falcon has a perfect pocket position with 3/8 to go. 4 Trumps is gaining wide of that. Blatantly Good is 3rd over. Only 3 lengths off the leaders, and Live Strong is a locked-in last. They move to the far turn. They're covered by just 3.5. Wild Ridge Sam ahead in front. Foiled again, presses on. These two now on level terms with 3/16 to go. And 4 Trumps is poised to pass from 2nd over. 3/4 in 123 and 4. They come to the top of the stretch. And Foiled again is taken the lead by 3/4 of a length. Wild Ridge Sam is all out. 4 Trumps was blind switched by Blatantly Good, who's rolling down the center of the track. Foiled again, and Blatantly Good.
Well, recent history repeated itself 1 week later as Blatantly Good flew late again and foiled again once again, winning in 150 and 4. Noble Falcon with Tim Tetrick was 3rd, and now it's time to go to Dover Downs.
Yes, Dover Downs.
And to see the first elim of the always eagerly anticipated matron.
Yes.
And with that, here's Heather.
Yes. Okay, we have 3-year-old pacing Colts and Geldings here. Purse of over $39,000. The favorite is Mr. Wiggles at 6-5, almost $1 million earned this year so far. We also have School Kids, who loves this Dover Oval. He raced super in the Progress Pace recently. And Nob Hill High is a new resident to the East Coast.
School Kids with the lead. Clear Vision getting closer. Mr. Wiggles is waiting there. Nob Hill High is off the rail from 4th. They're at the top of the stretch now, turning for home. School Kids. Here's Clear Vision up on the outside. Clear Vision from the outside up to get the lead. Here comes Nob Hill High. Nob Hill High from the outside. Nob Hill High.
Nob Hill High, who is 40-1, gets a perfect genius drive from Hall of Famer John Campbell. He looks totally buried, and then John just pulls that right line down the stretch, paces back past those boys up front, wins by a neck in 150 and 3. Clear Vision raced really well. He was 2nd. School Kids took 3rd, and Mr. Wiggles was 4th. All 4 of those guys end up making the final, which goes on this coming Sunday.
Weird
Tomorrow.
name. Weird name.
What's that?
Nob Hill High.
Oh, I thought you were going to say School Kids.
Okay, in the second matron elim, the 12th on Sunday's card at Dover, Vintage Master, who's been just at the top of his game all year long, with Double D was a 7-5 chalk from the 9 hole. The entry of Straight Shooting and Ideal Race was the 2-to-1 second choice, and Chasing Races with Dave Miller was the 7-to-1 third choice. And here's the call with Jack Gallagher.
Here comes Vintage Master now, 3 wide at the top of the stretch. They turn for home, straight shooting. Hypnotic Blue Chip, Vintage Master coming on the far outside, coming through the stretch, straight shooting. Vintage Master on the far outside. Vintage Master draws off.
Double D gave Vintage Master a picture-perfect second over trip, and he got up to win in 150-4. Straight Shooter raced dead game and was second, and entry mate Ideal Race finished a gutsy third. So
it's going to be a great final.
It's going to be a great final.
Yes,
it's going to happen
I promise
tomorrow at Dover. Be there or be square. It's going to be great.
I'll be there.
You will?
Yes.
Oh, good. Will you let me know what happens? Okay, and that's the final episode of PA Harness Week for year 2009. It's been so much fun.
Yeah.
Hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of sad, but we'll be back in the spring with a great new meet, and I'm looking forward to that. If we don't get an anchor job in between, we would be remiss unless we thanked the folks from the PHHA, the Pennsylvania Harness Horsemen's Association, specifically Ron Battoni, Mike Izzo, who writes our checks,
Ed Kubeski.
Ed Kubeski, and everybody that we haven't named. Also, a special thanks to all the drivers, the trainers, the horsemen, who have always been accessible and entirely cooperative, and we really appreciate that. And
I'd like to thank the Academy.
thank you. Good idea. Where's your statuette, darling?
It's coming.
And I would like to say a special thanks to the lady sitting to my right, Heather Moffat. She's a neat lady. She has an engaging personality, a bubbly smile, and she is appropriately zany enough to sit in the seat next to appropriately zany me.
Right.
So I look forward to it, and thanks a lot, babe.
Thank you. You're okay, too.
All
I
right,
appreciate
kid.
that.
Sounds good. Okay, and for Heather Moffat, I'm Steve Ross. Until next year, have yourself a wonderful holiday, and may the best thing that happened to you this year be the worst that happens to you next year. Until next year, bye-bye.
Hanover is ranging up on the outside, but is 4 lengths off the lead.